Hey, what's going on, everybody? Give me a wave or put a hashtag replay for watching this replay as well. Great to see you. I'm excited for today. And if you're watching this, you're here not to hear from me too much. We have a couple of special guests that I can't wait to introduce you to. But if you're on here, then it's probably because you're somebody that's interested in bettering your health. You're somebody that's interested in balancing your hormones. You've perhaps heard about these things, these body balancing drops that social media calls skinny drops, and you're using them. Maybe you've heard about them from your friend, but tonight we're going to dive into that and actually bring up two amazing hormone experts to be able to share some good information with all of us. And by the end of this, if you're not yet using the drops, you have an opportunity to do that. Get back with a friend if you want some more information on them, or perhaps even partner with us to share this amazing message too. But if we haven't met, my name is James Zhang, and I first heard about these drops 12 years ago, and I was just trying to lose some extra fat. And I used them. I lost 25 pounds in 40 days with no exercise, and it changed my life. And it got me to look into what was working. How did that happen? Like, it seemed too good to be true. And I learned about the science, and I learned about the background, and I learned about the hormone side. To be honest, I didn't look at this for the health reason. I was looking for the vanity reason, but I got tricked into being healthy later. And that's our more important message is let's get healthy on the inside, and then the other stuff will follow as well too. But let's also be real. Who here would also not only just want to feel good, we'd also want to look good too, right? Give me a wave or put a me in the comments if that's the case. There's nothing wrong about both. Let's have both of the above as well too. But what we found throughout the years is men have hormones, yes, but women for sure go through a lot of specific things dealing with their hormones, whether it's being postpartum or going through perimenopause, menopause, postmenopause. Like, there's a lot of stuff that's going on specifically with women, but maybe you're a guy, you're listening to this, you're going to get a lot from this. But also we've seen that with women, as they've been using these drops, there's been so many transformations that have happened. And one of our leaders, Angie Bloom-Hewett, she started to do these events that she called Health and Hormones. And I heard about them for the last couple of months. And I was jealous, to be honest, because it was almost like a girls' night thing only, Guys weren't allowed at first. And I'm like, I want to selfishly be a part of one of these things just to be around the coolness. I'm like, I'll just take the photos and stuff. We couldn't work it out timing wise, but tonight we wanted to bring it to you together on this virtual platform. But I wanted to bring up two special guests. But we got Angie Bloom-Hewett with us. Angie, can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. And also we have Chelia here. Chelia, what's going on? Let me know if you can unmute as well too. Make sure I think I made your co-host here. Yeah. All right. Awesome. Hi. Great to see you guys. Perfect. Hey, so Angie, I'm just gonna toss it over to you guys, and feel free. If you need to bounce anything by me, feel free to do so. But guys, take some good notes today, and we're about to be welcomed into their world of health and hormones. You're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna laugh a lot, and it's just gonna be a good time and everything. But Angie, did you need anything from me before I pass it on to you?
No, except I want to correct you on something.
Please.
We had men at Chelia's event, so there is room for men.
Wow.
Always. Yeah.
Good news.
Because men do have hormones also. Yes, you're right.
Hormones,
Yeah.
1000%. Thanks for that. Awesome. Angie, Shirley, I'm going to toss it to you guys.
Okay. So, yeah. Were you going to say something?
No, I'm sorry. Mother Mary just walked in the room.
Hi, Mother Mary. Well, I wanted to, I guess we're going to talk about hormones and health and the events that we've been doing. What we're doing is educating people on exactly what all the slenderized drops do, because there's so much more than just weight loss. That was the accidental side effect that we found. For myself, my personal journey, I'm 64, almost 65 years young. And yeah, there it is right there. Uh, one of the reasons I went to Los Angeles this last trip where we did two of our events was to get my physical. And my doctor said that I've actually lost 25 pounds since the last time she saw me. So I might need to change that. But that was the reason that I started my slenderized journey. like most women, I, wanted to get my weight down. Clothes weren't fitting. That's the ick factor when you don't feel good and you're going somewhere and you want to be cute and none of your cute stuff is fitting you. So that was the reason I did it. But correlating with that, my doctor had me on progesterone estradiol. That is HRT, right? So she told me after a certain age, I have to come off of that hormone replacement therapies because no matter what the tests come out to be, a 63-year-old woman at the time should not have the same hormone levels as her 32 childbearing year self. It was a hard pill to swallow, literally and figuratively speaking. So I began the journey of weaning myself off because the risk of breast cancer and all that heightens as you get older with the estrogen, which is in everything. I didn't know that either. The reason you take the progesterone is to keep it from becoming dangerous. So I'm weaning myself down to 7 days, from 7 to 5, 5 to 3. But then I start doing the drops to lose weight. And it was the perfect storm because what that did was it kited me, if you will, in that transition where I thought I was just becoming regular with hormones, getting weaned off of them. I didn't understand at the time because we weren't doing this whole skinny drop campaign where I've gotten educated on the fact that these two little droppers do more than just cause weight loss. And on one of the trips last year, when I had completely stopped taking the progesterone and hormone replacement, and I was doing skinny drops, losing weight, the whole thing, one of the trips I forgot the drops. So I came home, and most women who are in menopause know that those night sweats are a real thing. So right around 2 o'clock in the morning, that right up the back of your neck, that like a dragon's breathing on you. And then you sweat all under in here. And next thing you know, you're taking off your, switching nightgowns and the sheets are wet and it's a miserable thing. And I kept thinking, I got to go back on the progesterone estradiol. And it wasn't until I know Chelia, you're not supposed to be having them now because you're on the drops. Anyway, then the aha moment went off. You don't need to go back on the hormone replacement. Dum-dum, take the drops. I am never without my drops from here on out. That's it. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. That's my journey. Chelia, do you want to speak to yours? Because there's so much more than just weight loss.
Well, my journey. Let's see. Where do I start? I wasn't sleeping for approximately 7 years. James is sharing. I did a face comparison a couple of weeks ago. I was going through some photos and I came across a picture on the left, and I was like, because I had taken a picture. The one on the right I had taken a week before, and I was just going through my photos. Is when I really noticed a change in just my face. Like you can see where my face is so full. My eyes are dim, and it's just like a part of it's like I didn't know who that person was. I had no idea that that's how I was looking until I took the other picture on the right. And I was like, wow, the girl on the right, I remember. That girl on the left, I don't know who she is. She invaded my body. But I took that picture last October, and it was before I had started taking the drops. And I didn't really, you don't really realize what you're going through until you do something like this. And I had no idea that I was really going through. I wasn't sleeping. I hadn't had a good night's sleep in probably like 7 years, because I was only getting like 2 to 3 hours. You say what?
Things get normal for us when they're not.
Yeah, it became normal, and I was just functioning, and didn't know that I was just functioning, and didn't know what I was really lacking, and that my body wasn't healing. So Angie introduced me to the drops, and I always say I took my drops the next day. That morning I was up taking my drops, and that night I got the best sleep that I hadn't had in years, and didn't even realize it. But and that started in November of last year. Is that correct? And I have to say, I feel great. My moods are better. And the bonus part is I have been dropping weight. And I didn't realize I was dropping weight. Matter of fact, Angie said we were together one day and she was looking at my hands and she could see that I had inflammation in my fingers. She said, that's inflammation. So now my wedding ring is too big again. So you don't really, when you're in it, you don't really see it until you start doing something to make the change. And so I'm very grateful, so thankful, because I had no idea I was that bad. And I've come out of the fashion industry, but it's like I got stuck. And so I finally see myself coming back to who I was used to being. Does that make sense? It's like I see me
your
again.
story is even deeper. Your story is unlike anybody that I know, because it ran through your family, your house, like
Yes,
it just had a healing effect.
it did. Because everybody,
powerful.
there's 5 people in this house. Is that 5? Yes, there's 5 of us. I have my husband, my sister, my mother, and my stepfather. And I have them all on the drops.
Yes.
So we're all happy. Everybody's health is better. My sister has a lot of health issues. She has congestive heart failure. She has seizures. She has I'm missing something. There's quite a few, but I was just speaking to her, and I didn't realize that she was having vision seizures. So she says she's no longer having vision seizures. Her blood pressure has dropped by about 30 points because she was having problems with her blood pressure. She wasn't sleeping either. So you could just imagine the moods in this house. Anyway, she is sleeping every night. What else? Her mood is good. She says she's no longer having any stomach discomfort. She's lost 13 pounds, and the doctor told her that she needed to lose, I believe, either 25 or 30 pounds because of the fluid on her heart. She has too much weight on her. And so I think COVID really affected everyone in the household, I think it's PTSD really, but so that was my sister's testimony. My mother had been on metformin for 30 years. Her doctor took her off in October, and it kind of made us a little nervous because she'd been on it for so many years. And so when I started taking the drops and Angela had a conversation with her, she said, I really think you should get on them. So I have to say, my mother hasn't had any issues with her diabetic numbers. They've been managed. Now, listen, my mother is 85 years old, and I cannot tell that lady that she cannot have a piece of pie.
Is she right next to you? I see you talking to somebody.
Yeah, I'm talking to Mother Mary. She's sitting
Mother Mary, come say hi.
She says she's not camera ready. She is
okay. Well, I got my hug when I saw you this week.
We don't get in front of the camera unless we're ready.
That's where you get it from.
Well, that's one half. If my father was still here, he'd say the same thing. So,
but I got on both sides. Well, Nick, your husband he spoke at the event that we had, and he was grateful that he has 2 doctors. He said you were his doctor, and then he had the other doctor. And I said, well, we know one of them loves you. He encouraged all men, if you have a wife, or all women, if you have a husband or a significant other, because men can be a little hard-headed. Sorry, James, I know you're listening, but men can be a little hard-headed, and women can get them where they need to be for the betterment of them.
Absolutely. And he's very grateful. He just told me a few minutes ago that he lost 13 pounds.
Awesome. So, and he's type 2 diabetic as well,
yes,
right?
Yes, he is. So we're looking for the balance with his meds so he can get back off his meds again. So that's the plan of him staying consistent, of taking the drops and just doing what he's supposed to do. So he's listening. I think he gets it now,
One thing I want to point out is that we're not making medical claims per se. We're just talking experiences. We're not doctors, and we cannot back any of that up. However, we do have clinical trials. We do have ingredients. And for anybody who has an issue on medication with their doctor, we encourage you, ask the person who brought you to this call or whomever that you know, to get you those clinical trials and ingredients. I have never had a doctor turn me down. Never, not once. I don't know anybody who has. I had one client who had thyroid cancer, and she had no thyroid at all. So we sent everything to her doctor within 20 minutes. He said, take them, but take them 4 hours away from your thyroid medication. So she takes them when she gets up middle of the night to tinkle. So there's no negative anything in these drops. And for those of you who are interested in the drops, there's 2 to a box, right?
Mhm.
You got the thing? Okay, yeah. So they're hormone free, they're homeopathic. They manage weight, but that's really the side effect. They control your appetite, they're gluten free. Okay, the first one, I want to speak more to that because it cuts your sugar and carb cravings.
Yes.
Sugar is hidden in like 115 different labels on the back of a label. And it's hidden in everything. I don't care if it's agave, monk fruit, coconut, the healthy sugar. Sugar is sugar is sugar, and it goes through the body into the blood as glucose. So, you have to be careful with that. Make sure that you're shopping the outside of the supermarket and not the inside, because sugar is literally in everything, and it's more addictive than cocaine or heroin. So that's one of the things that it does. It also cleanses, detoxifies the liver in particular, because if the body has toxins, it will naturally wrap fat around the vital organs to protect itself. But we all know that that visceral body fat is where heart attack and stroke live. So the caveat, the catch-22 is you're never going to get rid of the fat until you get rid of the toxins. So this product deals with that as well, realizing that it's not just one thing like a Ozempic shot or a, get skinny fast thing. It addresses every single level of what the problem could be. And then the second dropper has adaptogenic herbs in it to include ashwagandha, rhodiola, rose hips. It has B12, which does give you a little added energy. So we only want you to take that one twice a day. The first one 3 times a day, 10 minutes under the tongue before meals. But it's not going to give you the jitters. Remember Guarana in the 80s and the 90s? All those, I don't even remember what the gimmicks were, the different weight loss things, but they all made you like you felt like your heart was going to come out of your chest. And they were really, really bad for you. This does not do that. It gives you a bit of energy, but it also elevates and evens out your mood. So if you're feeling a little blue or a little sad, or, some people call them happy drops. So, yeah, they work very, very well together.
Well, I'm gonna add to that. The mood swings. It's like my mother. She was taking naps at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and she doesn't take naps at 2 o'clock in the afternoon anymore. It's giving her a lot of energy. She wants to take walks now. So it's really, really good, I think, for seniors, and just giving them their life back, honestly, And and the hot flashes. My hot flashes have decreased. So I'm happy about that. So, it's a good thing. Take your
They're
drop.
amazing. They're amazing. I can't say enough about them, but they deal with PCOS, which
Yes.
I had never heard of before. And now that I know about it, it's almost like when I bought my car, I bought a Genesis, and all of a sudden I started seeing them everywhere. I don't know what that is. There's a word for it. But yeah, PCOS is more common than you realize. It deals with thyroidism, hyper and hypo, Hashimoto's. It deals with metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, pre-diabetes, type 2 diabetes as well.
I have another one. My stepfather was on insulin in October. The doctor put him on insulin. He hasn't had to have an insulin shot since December. And I don't keep him from eating either. He's 82. Whatever you want to eat, just eat it, honey. You lived your life. And so he hasn't had an insulin shot. So
Wow. So can I ask you a question? Have any of the doctors seen any of, the ingredients or the clinical trials, or you guys just went for it and then
yeah,
went back and you could see your results?
absolutely. They said, whatever you're doing, just keep doing it.
Keep doing it. Yeah.
You look
I can't
great.
tell you how many, if I had a nickel for every time I hear that, I'd be a rich woman.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has any questions about anything, or is there an age limit on these being given to children overweight? I've heard that I don't think that young children should have this because they're still and maybe one of my nurses here that deals with that could speak to that. But check with the pediatrician. I would not give it to little kids. I don't see a need for them to need, their hormones are still doing whatever they do. They're still cooking and growing. I don't know if a teenager would be better. They're safe for any age. Typically, we recommend, yeah, teenage. Yeah, I don't know. If it was my kid and I love the drops, I mean, I have a grandbaby, I would not give it to my granddaughter, kind of a thing. Because why? You know what I'm saying? There's a reason why we're taking these drops. Babies don't need more energy. I guarantee you. I just spent 2 days with her. She don't need no more energy. And so um, I'm
I
looking to
just,
see.
I
Uh,
just so loved like there were so many benefits you both just rattled there. I'm just curious, who here thought of at least one person that you thought can benefit from anything that Shalia and Angie just shared, right? Give me a wave or put a one in the comments. Like I'm just mind blown. Like you literally just talked about like the major concerns in the world right now in such a concise time, and all of it's so simple. Like it's mind blowing to me that there's so much impact, but when you put good ingredients in your body and you do the right things with your health, it helps you move into those directions. I just don't get tired of these. Amazing.
no, what's really amazing, James, is when we do these in-home events, people get to sit, there's Q&A time, then there's share. We talk to who's on the drops. What are you experiencing on the drops? So it's like a show and tell kind of a thing, more intimate for sure.
Oh my gosh. I love it. Shalia, you're on mute right now.
They, after, talking and seeing everybody in the room, they feel safe to
Yes.
express what they're going through. And it's, for me, it gets a little emotional because you don't really realize how much pain people are in. People are walking around here sick,
Hmm.
and then it's sad. You just want to, it's like it puts you in a space of wanting to help everybody. Oh God, you need some help. What you need? How can I help you? And it's it really touches my heart because I just like, wow,
The
yeah,
other thing I like about it, Shalia, is that we're educating people.
yes.
Because another thing that Dr. Strand taught us is that doctors only diagnose disease. By the time you end up being a diabetic, you've been going along this road for 10 to 15 years before you get there. But all that while, your numbers look normal. Your numbers look normal, but the telltale red flags are there. The numbness in your feet that's starting. Um, your vascular system is the cause of a lot of that. People think it's heart attack that they're suffering from, and everything's been rusting in here for so long that it's really a good thing to get ahead of it. To
Yes.
be, one of the nurses here says she's in well care instead of sick care or whatever, something like that. I don't know which one it was, but
That's right.
yeah, but I like that because this is a way of, you brush your teeth every day.
Mm.
You have to get water. Another thing is you do need to take half your body weight in ounces on these drops to help facilitate the releasing of the toxins. But we wash our hair once a week or wash your face every day. You do certain things to maintain the outside, but you wouldn't drive your car forever without changing the oil. You
Mm.
wouldn't, just basic internal care. because this is the only body that you have. This is it. And when you beat this up bad enough, long enough, and it gives up on you, that's a wrap.
It is. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and I love that. So true, Becky. Become your own advocate. You know when your body is feeling a certain thing. You know it. You don't have to have a doctor tell you, oh, well, because of your hands shaking or because, you have tingling or numbness in your feet, oftentimes we know something's off before it's even diagnosed. So I like the drops because they definitely they do so much. If you could find one product to do a million things, wouldn't you want it?
Well, my husband also has neuropathy, and so does my mother, and her feet and hands. And he hasn't complained in the last 6 weeks about the neuropathy, this tingling that he was feeling in his feet and in his legs.
And so the new formula addresses that too. There's something in that new formula that helps with neuropathy.
Amazing. There's just so many benefits that continue to happen. And what I'm getting from you two is number one, if you're not in the drops yet, give them a shot. The best investment you could do is to invest in yourself, or maybe your hubby or your spouse or a friend or a senior. I just so love that. And then number two is to really share your story. Like to really share that, because what I hear from Chelia is you were vulnerable with your story. And then that started to cause a chain reaction in your family. And that's now starting to cause a chain reaction in your city. You're doing these in-home events. It's starting to spread around the world now. And each and every single one of us, it takes a personal decision first, and then just to be able to share it out there. So if you're not on the drops, definitely grab that. But Angie, I'm curious for you as we close out this time together. You can either get the drops as a customer and definitely get back to your friend. If you want to grab the drops, we can give them to you at a good discount. But you can also partner with the company as well to be able to get the drops at a cheaper and also be able to share it too. Like, what's your tip on that? What would you recommend for people if we're like, okay, which one should I do?
Well, sometimes I get where people say, I was that girl, Tammy can tell you. I was interested in the business because the business I could talk about for forever. I drove in from LA to Vegas today, and I think half of that trip I was running my mouth about the business because I'm so loving this company. But I had to try it first. So by all means, if you need to try the drops first, try the drops first. But by that second box, get a little bit more, I don't want to say smart. Be smart about it and get the discount and start a business. You never know who you're going to help either. It's not just about the money. The money's great. Don't get me wrong. But when you realize that I know 2 people now that have type 2 diabetes. I never knew. I've known these people 30 some odd years. They're both men. Had no idea. I sold them both a box of drops. One I dated for a long time. Never knew he was sick. He kept that from me, to Shalia's point. But, now I'm talking to them by that second drop, that second box. Come on now. You need to come on.
Can I say, James, let me say this. Let me tell you, about the third night that I had got some sleep, I called Angie and said, okay, I'm in. Didn't I in?
Yes, she did. She did. And I was like, dang, that was easy. Because I lead with it. You got to be coachable, willing, and hungry. If you can't give me those 3 things, I can't give you me either then. And she goes, I'm coachable, willing, and I'm hungry. And I'm getting sleep. I'm in. I said, cool. And she has been all of those things. I'm so blessed to have you.
And now our newest senior manager, right, Chelia?
Yes.
Congratulations.
And just got here in November.
Wow. Things can change really fast. So guys, thank you both for your inspiration, for your fun. Then final note that I got down is this: make a list of all your exes, and instead of giving them you, give them the gift of health. There's your call to action.
Make sure you like them now.
Exactly. But guys, I hope you guys learned a lot. Get back with your friend after this if you have other questions. And if you are interested in the business side, tomorrow we want to invite you back. Same link, same time. I'm going to be bringing up 2 of our good friends, 2 of our top leaders. And we're going to be talking about how to use these drops in a simple system to be able to buy your dream vacation for you and your family. Who here would love to travel around the world, have it be a tax write-off, and have it paid for? Like just be able to fund for these different things. We're going to talk about how these individuals have taken their families around the world and just been able to find a way to transform lives, to be able to create some special experiences. So we're going to talk all about that, how to do it. It's really simple. We just got back from Australia. Like somehow I'm awake right now. My wife's still awake as well too. But it's powerful when you get the magic of what Angie was talking about, what Chelia was talking about. You put it in your heart, you share it out there. So come back tomorrow. Feel free to bring anyone as well too. But other than that, Chelia, Angie, thank you for your time. So much fun. I so appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Glad to have you back. Glad